A routine flight carrying one of Europe's most powerful leaders was suddenly thrown into disarray, forcing pilots to fall back on old-school navigation. This wasn't a mere technical glitch. Investigators believe it was a deliberate act meant to intimidate. Here's how a plane carrying European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen became the latest target of GPS jamming and why the finger is pointed at Russia. On Sunday, August 31, 2025, von der Leyen's chartered jet was on final approach to Plovdiv International Airport in southern Bulgaria. Without warning, the cockpit's GPS screens went dark. For roughly an hour, the crew held in a racetrack pattern, switching to ground-based radio beacons and even paper charts to plot a safe descent. Training kicked in, backup systems worked, and the aircraft touched down without incident. But the malfunction was anything but random. A European Commission spokesperson later said Bulgarian authorities suspect blatant interference by Russia, while another EU official called the disruption undeniable. Investigators see it as part of the Kremlin's broader campaign of hybrid warfare, operations that sit below the threshold of open conflict yet carry real risk. The timing and location matter. Von der Leyen was midway through a 4-day tour of 7 EU countries along the bloc's eastern flank, states that feel acutely exposed in the wake of Russia's war on Ukraine. Just hours earlier, she had stood on the Polish-Belarusian border with Poland's prime minister. Her Bulgarian stop included talks with Prime Minister Rosen Zhelyazkov and a visit to an ammunition factory, symbolic gestures of solidarity and defense cooperation. Interfering with her flight sent an unmistakable message. How does GPS jamming work? Picture the constellation of satellites overhead as musicians in a distant orchestra. Their signals are faint but synchronized, allowing receivers on Earth to calculate precise positions. A jammer is like a blaring air horn. By flooding the same frequencies with powerful noise, it drowns out the orchestra, leaving the receiver deaf and disoriented. A close cousin, spoofing, goes one step further, broadcasting counterfeit signals to make a target believe it's somewhere else entirely. Aviation regulators design layered safeguards to counter both threats. Inertial reference systems, radio beacons, and pilot training that dates back to the pre-satellite era. Even so, the rising tempo of GPS interference is alarming. Since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, reports of jamming and spoofing have spiked across northern and eastern Europe, disrupting aircraft, commercial shipping, and even emergency services. In March 2024, a flight carrying the UK's Defence Secretary at the time, Grant Shapps, lost its GPS fix near the Russian exclave of Kaliningrad. Each incident chips away at confidence and raises the specter of an eventual accident. Official reaction to the Plovdiv episode was swift. The European Commission said the jam underlines the urgency of strengthening the EU's defense posture and reaffirmed its support for Ukraine. Bulgarian authorities confirmed the disruption and their suspicions of Russian involvement. Moscow, for its part, flatly denied wrongdoing. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told reporters, "Your information is incorrect." Whether or not conclusive proof emerges, the signal sent is clear. Modern conflict is waged not just with tanks and missiles, but with invisible waves that guide aircraft, steer ships, and timestamp financial transactions. Undermining those signals can sow confusion at a fraction of the cost of conventional warfare. For now, the plane that carried Ursula von der Leyen is safely on the ground, its passengers unharmed. Yet the incident has amplified calls across Europe to harden critical infrastructure, diversify navigation systems, and treat the electromagnetic spectrum as the contested battlefield it has become. In the skies over Bulgaria, one quiet hour of circling drew a sharp line between routine travel and geopolitical warning. It won't be the last time that line is tested.